And welcome back to What If. It's the last What If of the week of What Ifs. I mean, granted, I would have done the What If anyway it's Sunday. I do What Ifs on Sunday and Wednesday. But this is now part 2 of What If Bardock and Gine had gone to Earth with Goku. So last time of the Dragon Ball Z What If. Actually, currently only Dragon Ball, but we'll go to Dragon Ball Z later. Gine and Bardock had figured out a way to go with Goku. Their concern was that their power levels would be detected because they're too high, but they figured out a way to suppress their battle powers, or as they call them, power levels. And then through interaction with Kami, who they met, they used a wish to keep them basically Earth cloaked from anyone sensing power levels overall on the planet. At least anyone from a technical standpoint being able to sense power levels, because through training, I do believe Bardock and Gine could sense power levels at this point. However, they had just met Bulma. To recap, we have fast forward to the point where Bardock and Goku had met Bulma. Now, Goku in this version, at the moment, right, because he's trained, he was still young, so he's not extremely powerful at this point in time, because he was only born with a power level of 2, as it turns out. But he would drain. He'd be around 200. I'll even pump him up to 250 with some training. Still got a long way to go, but the innate potential with Bardock, because Bardock wouldn't start training Goku until he's probably in the same age that his little brother is. Which, by the way, we now have a name for Goku's little brother. Now, just to recap, they wouldn't know Raditz is alive, and I'm sure a married couple, Gine and Bardock, they would be getting it on when they had the chance, and I'm certain Gine would probably have another child. A, because, things happen, and B, because they don't have Rad, so they'd like to try to make their family a bit more whole again. Now, I had basically asked you to choose a name, because I couldn't come up with a name right off the top of my head. And I basically said that the way I'd do it was the name that got the most likes was basically going to be the name I chose. And if there was, any ones that were tied for it, I would choose between them. Now, I did hear one that I really liked was Daikon, which is a different form of radish. However, unfortunately, that one didn't get the most votes. The one that got the most votes, and we are going with Ginseng, which is ginseng, basically, ginseng root. So Ginseng is the name of Goku's little brother, who I think would definitely look like Goku a little bit more than, say, Raditz, but I think he would inherit Raditz's hair a bit more. Not quite to his length, but he would inherit that a bit more. He'd probably also be... He wouldn't be quite akin to something like Raditz, but he probably wouldn't be as prideful as something like Vegeta. He'd be somewhere cross between, maybe a Goten and a Goku with a little bit of with still the Saiyan pride a little bit in him. They all have a little bit of that pride, but Bardock and Gine both are no, if we need to throw away that pride to protect our family and our loved ones, yeah, we'll do it. It's it's not the same Saiyan race that we were before. Also, age-wise, we just gotta factor in where they are. I believe, because I couldn't find an exact age for Bardock. I saw someone predict that it was between 18 and 22, because that's what seems to be when Saiyans have their first kid. That seems about right. So I rounded up to about 20. You factor in the 12 years for Goku. Oh, I said when he had Raditz, sorry. So and Raditz was about 8. He's 8 years older than Goku. So Bardock was about 30 when he had Goku, so he'd be about 42 now, which is fine for Saiyans. They can fight till about 80 in their prime. Yeah, Gine would also probably be roughly a little younger than Raditz from what we could tell, so put her about 37. So now we're finally caught up on that. And Goku's power is roughly speaking about 250 right now. Also, should note, Goku is not a genius, but he's definitely more intelligent and has better manners because he's had his parents and everyone to interact with. And he has basic math skills. He also understands the difference between men and women. And he is also aware of not looking at the moon. He's aware of his Saiyan heritage. He's known as Kakarot, by the way. He's not Goku. So he introduces himself as Kakarot. Everything, it goes along those lines. And, Gine actually says it would be Gine, not Bardock, surprisingly. He says, you should go with her, Goku. Go and go and help her find the Dragon Balls. It'd be good for you to get out of the world, get out and see the world, not just from your father taking you out and things. And besides, and Bardock's just trying to adjust. Well, what? Maybe I should go. And it's no, because you need to bond. You need to bond a bit more with Ginsen. It's yay! It's help him train. Ginsen, I think, would be born a little stronger than Goku, but he wouldn't be have any more potential than say Goku would, if not less. So maybe he was born a power level of 5. So at the 6-year marker where Bardock maybe starts to train him. He's maybe about 20 as they've been starting to train. You know, taking on his dad and things along those lines. So Goku's just like, are you, or Kakarot, I'm going to be doing that a bit. So, are you sure, Ma? I was like, yep, and we'll be here when you get back. Don't worry. He's like, we're not going anywhere. He's like, all right, then let's go. I was like, yeah, fine, let's find the Dragon Balls. And they go out and, you know, invent and do the quest for the Dragon Balls, the Pilaf saga, if you will. So they'll run into Turtle. Well, actually, they don't run into Turtle immediately. They'll, she said, trying to find where the Dragon Ball is. You know, they end up going into, you know, camping out. Goku's used to living off the land, but they're also used to going into town and getting groceries every now and then. Again, Goku's table man, although he still has the voracious appetite. I'm calling him Goku. I gotta try to go into Kakarot here. Kakarot at least understands the concept of not like he's, you know, he's being polite while he eats, but he's still eating res, and she's amazed by it. It's like, well, you're like, your appetite is amazing. It's like, oh yeah, it's just part of who we are as you know, Saiyan's appetite. She does know what Saiyans are, because I don't think they would just explain they're aliens to him. So, you know, he goes and bathes himself because his mom taught him when he met a girl that, you know, girls and guys are different and there's going to be a need for privacy, you know. Even though you've seen me naked and all that stuff, but that's because I'm your mom and, you know, certain circumstances allowed that to happen. So, you know, okay, I get it. Thanks, Mom. And so he respects Bulma's privacy. He still goes out and maybe hunts that wolf and centipede because he's still hungry. And here's the big thing. There's no that him disrobing taking off Bulma's underwear kind of thing going on. So, you know, he just goes and sleeps, and they wake up in the morning, and they go out. They find Turtle. Goku immediately beats that. What was he? A giant boar? I can't remember exactly. Was it a bear or a boar? I think it was a boar. And Goku beats him. Easy. Done. And then, you know, they take her to Roshi. Bulma flashes them to get the Dragon Ball. And Goku's just like, Now, at 12 years old, and that would probably be another reason partly that he didn't find Bulma attractive because he was 12. He probably hadn't actually gone through puberty yet. So they would go off. Then they run into Oolong. That goes down the same. They run into Yamcha. Now, Goku being hungry at that point would be like, ugh. Him and Yamcha duke it out. And Yamcha, because Goku's hungry, does still hold somewhat of an advantage. But Goku's had a lot more refined training now because Gohan's been around. Grandpa Gohan's been around, and Bardock's been around, and he's just naturally far superior to Yamcha. That even though he's hungry, he can still just block him and just and Yamcha's like, you, and then he's just collapsing with hunger. Wolf Fang sees Bulma, just just seizes out. And then that goes down. The incident with Boss Carrot, again, goes the same. Really, nothing drastically changes up until we get to the battle with the Ox King. Now, I've seen some people say the Ox King's power is actually like 900, but let me check that real quick. I am pretty certain that is a bull statement, because if the Ox King his power is 900, why the hell didn't he just take on King Piccolo? Is the Ox King human? Ox King is the only known human character other than Master Roshi to live 4 generations in the series, being alive during the lives of his daughter, grandson, and great-granddaughter. Fascinating. But what is the power of Super... That's not the question I'm asking. Whatever. Point being... Point being is that I read somewhere that his power is 900. I'm like, no, it's not. It is not 900. Especially as Roshi is strong. And Roshi, when he goes into his like muscle form, his power does go into like the thousands in Dragon Ball. So it's possible Roshi could, in theory, have beaten Raditz, honestly. But he would only have like one real shot at doing that. And Roshi didn't even go full out against Tien. So it's very possible he could, in theory, have beaten Raditz if he tried. In theory. But point being, Goku Goku couldn't do anything to the Ox King originally. However, he, in the original series, because his power was only 10 at that point. This Goku, actually, when they kind of duke it out initially, he actually does, pound the Ox King back. But the Ox King gets us like, ugh, whoa, it's like that was weird. So you're pretty strong, Brad. And then they go duke it out, and there is a relatively sizable fight, and then Goku actually shows up. They just Kame, because Gohan, I believe, knew the Kamehameha, so why wouldn't he have taught it to? In fact, I just realized Goku, Gine, and Kakarot, Bardock, Gine, and probably Jinsen would probably have learned the Kamehameha from Gohan, and they're all saying so. They all would generally get to it or grasp it pretty quick, especially with years of training. Then just blasts Oxine into the mountain. The Oxine does survive, but he actually does put out the mountain and destroy it, so I don't even need to call Master Roshi. It's like, how did you learn that? That was the technique of my old unstoppable master, Master Roshi. Roshi? You mean the turtle guy? I was like, oh, you knew him. And yeah, of course Goku met Chi-Chi at this point. So she's kind of like enamored by Goku, who is like still same old Goku around Chi-Chi. Now someone asked me, am I going Kakarot Chi-Chi or Kakarot Bulma in this? I go by what I think is the most realistic circumstance of what happens here. And we're too early to say that right now. I don't think we're going to get that till at least episode 3. So, but we're only at 11 minutes. I like to go about 20, 25 minutes on these. So, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll go that route. Anyway, so they'll keep going through collecting the Dragon Balls. Eventually, they do reach Pilaf's castle, and Goku, and they do get caught. But again, Goku actually has a mastered version of the Kamehameha, unlike his original version. So he just blows the glass off the top of their prison, and they get out of there. And by the way, Goku would know how to fly. I think, he should know how to fly. His dad and mom probably know how to fly. We know Bardock knows how to fly. So, could Goku know flying? We'll save the flying for, because he was gifted the Nimbus by Roshi. So, we'll save the flying for after he gets done with the tournament of, the martial arts tournament. So, now does Goku look at the moon? No, because he might glance at the moon briefly, but he realizing it's full, he diverts his eyes, knowing that he shouldn't turn into the great ape here. They don't need to see that. So they storm the castle. They stop Pilaf from getting the Dragon Balls and making the wish. Now, so they actually have access to the wish. Basically, Goku is now holding Pilaf and the gang hostage while the dragon's there. So now they're there to make the wish. And Bulma, now here's the thing. Bulma this whole time was wishing for a perfect boyfriend, but I think Bulma would be a little conflicted because she's seeing the nice. Not granted, he's too young, but she's seeing something in this, something about Goku's attitude, present, just the fact that he's just a nice guy, stuff like that, and the fact that she's met Yamcha before, kind of has made her change her mind. So Bulma would probably just ask for a different wish. Now, what would Bulma's different wish be? That's a good question. Like, when I did the Whis raising Goku video, a little spoiler for that, we had Goku basically wish for a giant feast for Whis and Beerus to try out Earth food. And this one we don't have them, obviously. So, what would it be? Maybe she'd still be a little selfish and ask the wish to use the flying Nimbus. It's like, or your wishes. So now she can use the flying Nimbus. She calls Nimbus. It's like, Nimbus, haha, I can be on this now. Hi, yay! So she basically just circumvented the. I could see Bulma literally doing it because she fell through the cloud initially. She can't ride the Nimbus because she's not pure of heart. Goku's pure of heart. That's why he can do it. I could totally see Bulma having, decided to, with both Yamcha being out there and, having this weird feeling about Goku. Not romance or anything like that, he's only 12. But this weird feeling about Goku changing her wish and realizing she wanted to ride the Nimbus, being selfish, like, I want to ride the flying Nimbus. So I could see Bulma doing that, absolutely. So they would go their separate ways. Goku would go and meet. I think Goku would go back to his family initially after dropping Bulma off. He explains that and says how she met Master Roshi and going and be like, oh, you met Master Roshi. You met Master Roshi? Wow. You could learn a lot from him. He's the one who taught me. And he's the one who even taught me the Kamehameha. So it's like, oh, he's the one who taught you that, old man? So it's like, really? Yeah, you could learn a lot from him. So Goku says, all right. And asks where he is and remembers the beach where they are and that where Roshi came from. So puts two and two together that his island must have been straight away. Jinsen would be like, Nissan! Come on, Nissan, let's play. It's like, okay. I was like, okay. And Jinsen, and they'll play around and they'll spar for a little bit. I don't think Goku would have gotten any stronger. It's just, this is more about experience and life experience than anything else. And he got to see a lot of the world, things along those lines, more so than he even sees with his dad usually. So, they would spar. I think Jinsen, because we don't know how long they'd been traveling, Goku, Bulma, Oolong. But I think Jinsen probably would have improved. He probably would be, let's say it's been about a month or two. And they would, Jinsen would probably be like I put him at 20, so let's say he's hit 50. Kakarot is still much stronger than his brother. But now it's like he can actually, keep up with Goku. I keep saying Goku. Jinsen can keep up with Kakarot to some extent, so, you're getting good, bro. I was like, yeah, I got a lot stronger, huh? Yeah, you keep doing it. It's like, I'm proud of you, son. You seem different. You seem a bit more worldly. Yeah, I was like, yeah, do it me proud, son. Go learn some more. Don't forget to show your mom and me what you learned from Master Roshi when you're done with it. Yeah, I will, Dad. Bye, Mom. It's like, bye, honey. So that goes off the train with Master Roshi, meets Krillin. Now, here's the thing. I think Goku being so far ahead of Krillin, and let's be honest, Roshi at this point, even though Roshi, if he bulked up, could easily surpass Goku. I think that would encourage Krillin to get a little stronger. So the Krillin we'll see in this version is going to be a little stronger than his canon version because he's known Goku. Goku's just so far ahead of him as it were. So and he shows up and the training begins. Now, Roshi's already impressed with Goku and knows that he'd have to go all out to probably beat Goku, but probably could. Teaches them actual techniques, goes through their pushing their limits. The 50-pound turtle shell still is effective training for Goku, but I think he figures out too that I may have to design a more powerful, heavier turtle shell for you. So he gives him a 100-pound turtle shell. So when we get to the World Martial Arts Tournament, Goku's power, I believe they said was around 100 in the actual. So he basically times 10 his power. I don't think we're going to see that. We're going to see Goku maybe doubling is a bit much. I'd say going from 250 to about 400 in the span of that time. I think that's a reasonable thing. Or maybe let's just actually add the 100 on there. Let's say 350. I think that's a reasonable one because he's still young. He's still developing. But learning these techniques really helps push his abilities. And if maybe he could push it to more if he tries. So when we get to the actual tournament, Goku gets all the way to the finals. Him and Jackie Chun, or Master Roshi I keep saying Goku. Kakarot goes up against Kakarot and immediately knows he's on the losing side of this fight, so he has to go pretty much all out from the beginning. And they kind of go Kamehameha to Kamehameha. Unfortunately, Jackie Chun's Kamehameha, when going full power, he goes poof, just boom, it actually does blow Goku off the stage, and he does lose. And Bardock and Gine would be there along with Jinsei. It's like, no, Nissan lost. Like, yeah, but that old man, he certainly is a lot stronger. He's pretty strong for an immortal, or for an Earthling, but he seems to only be able to do that in short bursts. But I think Jackie Chun would beat Kakarot through a beam struggle when he goes full buff mode. And then the Goku's be like, darn it! It's like, yeah, it's okay, son. You can learn a lot more through it. It's like, yeah, and then even Jackie Chan goes like, you can learn a lot more through failures than you can successes, young man. And I must say, had with that beam struggle not gotten my way, I may very well have lost. I was like, yeah, really? It's like, yeah, keep growing, take this advice from an old man. And I'm basically just gonna quote Roshi from Super. It's like, learn well, eat well, sleep well, move well. It's like, oh, that reminds me of what my master Roshi said. I've met Roshi. I adopted that philosophy from him. Quite a great man, handsome devil he is. So, and Bardock and Gine aren't stupid. They know it's Roshi because, so you're like, mm-hmm. And then Goku uses up the prize money for the food and dining. So now we cut to the Red Ribbon Army. At 19 minutes, I think we can go into Red. I think we can even go pretty quick through the Red Ribbon Army arc. I can't remember how long the Red Ribbon Army arc took after that. I know Goku was a bit older at that point, like a year older. And he's probably a little taller at this point, so he's about 13. Jinsen is, after, again, training with Bardock and Gine, keeping up their skills and things along those lines. By the way, we're not going to hit the... we're not going to hit the training in the hyperbolic time chamber stuff, father and son bonding moments, until we get to probably the Saiyan arc, because it makes sense that they're strong enough they don't need to do that. And Bardock says he'd like to save that for special because Kami says you guys can't go in there more than twice. He'd like to save that for a special case, like if a threat is coming, he'd like to save that, or at least until they're older and they're actually more developed. But you'll get to the Red Ribbon Army arc, and frankly, first off, Goku would probably be, after a year, another year training, let's say about 500. Let's just round it to that. Jinsen would probably be about 150. Again, I don't see him as... I'd see his base power stronger than Goku's when he's born, but not his overall potential. So 150, I think, is fair. Gine probably stayed about the same, about 3,500. And Bardock, I put around 20,000 last time. He's maybe increased to about 21,000. He doesn't get a lot of serious sparring partners, but you can see his son's potential just climbing and climbing and climbing. So it's something that allows him to grow and something that allows his son to grow. So about in Gine and Bardock, 43, 38 respectively. Goku would pretty much just tear through the Red Ribbon Army like in fact he'd tear through them like that. So honestly, the Red Ribbon Army arc would go a lot faster, particularly because Bardock could get involved at any time he wanted to, and be like, okay, this is dumb. Boom. So that goes down, and I don't think you get the King, even if you do get the Demon King Piccolo arc. It would not last long because Demon King Piccolo wouldn't hold a candle to any of these guys. Krillin would get axed, but Goku would easily wreck him. Even a weakened Goku would easily wreck him. Because we got Goku's at 500 on his base form, and King Piccolo at best is like 220-ish. So, or actually no, it's about 260 because King Piccolo is stronger than Kami, who they say is about 220. But I don't know if you would get that, because I think you'd have them. I think you'd have Bardock, or you'd have the Pilaf gang honestly kept in check. For thanks to this, everyone doing what they can to keep them in check. And even if they didn't, let's assume that they do unlock King Piccolo. He awakens. Goku immediately just beats the crap out of him. Kami actually would explain who Demon King Piccolo is. And I do think that Bardock actually stops Goku, ends up coming into the fray, teaching Goku to fly, by the way. Goku knows how to fly at this point. Into the fray, and stopping him from killing Demon King Piccolo, because they basically, excuse me, they basically say if he dies, Kami's gonna die. That's just it. Now, does Demon King Piccolo create Piccolo Jr.? I don't know. Or you can make an argument. You know what? I'm going to take that back a little bit. I think that Goku does nearly kill King Piccolo, but he coughs up the Demon King Piccolo egg or the Piccolo Jr. egg and goes flying into the mountains. So yeah, they end up saving the day pretty quick. And then Goku says he's going to, Kami offers him to train on the lookout with him. Now remember, they've actually been training up there before plenty of times. So Goku really doesn't have to be away with his family, but he said that they explained this is probably going to be some personal growth for Goku. So Goku kind of needs this. And they agree, and they do what they need to. So Goku actually would go into the hyperbolic time chamber on his own. He fares a bit better, but he doesn't last very long. Let's see, we're at 23. Yeah, actually, I can just get through the rest of Dragon Ball, honestly. Now, what is the relationship between Goku, Chi-Chi, and Bulma? Obviously, nothing with Chi-Chi because he hasn't interacted with Chi-Chi. Bulma, he has that interaction with, and as he's grown up a bit more, and he hasn't been as naive to the female gender, I think he has taken a bit more notice of Bulma. Not just as a friend, but as a woman. And when we see Goku again, how old was Goku again when he showed back up? I think it was like 5-year time skip. So I think he's like 20, isn't he? Somewhere in his 20s. I think he's 20. So, which, again, scale that up real quick, going from 12, add another 8 years. So Bardock would basically be 50. Gine would be 45, and Jinsen would be, he's half Goku's age. He'd be 10. Now, having Bardock to train with him the whole time, I think Jinsei over 5 years training would be about 500, give or take. Goku, however, has pretty much, I guarantee, hit the 1,000 bar. And Bardock probably is over another 5 years, about 25,000. Gine maybe is 4,000. So they're all definitely older Saiyans, but still, they can be in the prime of their life, no problem. And if we get Dragon Balls involved, we could correct those ages. But anyway, the World Martial Arts Tournament happens. Goku and Bulma meet up again, and Bulma's actually looking Goku over like, ooh, he turned out nice. It's like, yeah, hi, Bulma. And then Goku's even looking at Bulma like, it was like, whoa. Those hormones, so I reared our ugly head like, woman. It's like, no, friend and woman. He's like kind of a, whoop, sorry, get your mind out of that gutter. So he's like, okay, no, it's like, hi, Bulma. And then he meets Krillin again. Now remember, Krillin, having already trained with Goku and having Goku already that much stronger, is stronger in this version. Still, Goku's 1,000 in terms of his power level. No one can compete with him in the martial arts tournament. So the fights go down. They're all one-sided comparatively. His fight when the Junior happens, or Piccolo Junior. I keep saying Goku, don't I? I'm going to have to get used to that. And Kakarot actually just completely beats the living crud out of him. Even when he goes giant, which kind of takes him by surprise. And again, Bardock and Gine are there too with Jinsen. And, Goku just is like, he gets a good swipe in on Goku. But Goku just, boom! Beats him. And ultimately saves Kami, and they stop him from killing Piccolo. Everything along those lines explain that scenario. Now, I do have to go back real quick before we end the video. There's the fight with Goku and Chi-Chi. Now, I think Goku actually does... Well, Goku probably wouldn't recognize Chi because he hadn't interacted with her since that time he met her. But they do acknowledge each other. It's like, I'm Chi-Chi, the Oxidar. You said it's like, I never know. I said I wanted a wife. Actually, no, I don't think that would have gone down as well the same way because he has parents, so he knows what a bride/wife is. So that Goku would have been like, it's like, you never deserve, I think one day I might want a bride. I don't know who it would be, but I'd want to get married and have a family. And, that wouldn't get quite the same reaction from Chi-Chi, but she might think he's implying her. But Goku's like, yeah, but I didn't say who what. I mean, and be honest, I barely know you, Chi-Chi. And he's like, what? But I mean, and be fair, like, Chi-Chi, seriously, love at first sight. That was very much childish. The way Chi-Chi was like, oh my, I have the asking time. I was like, yeah, and then it kind of just gives us, it kind of stares past Chi-Chi, and that kind of sees Bulma in the crowd, like, and he kind of actually gets a little bashful looking at her. Bulma actually blushes a little bit too, just, well, he's actually looking at me. And then it's like, well, what? But you and me, and just, sorry, Chi-Chi, I like you, but I barely know you too. Sorry. And then she tries to do that Hail Mary, gives him a kiss on the cheek. Like, look, thank you. It's like, sorry, Chi-Chi, nothing. It's like, and she walks away dejected. And he would go out in the crowd and kind of like talk. And him and Bulma would probably have a conversation about things and just how things have progressed. Now she actually says, like, oh, my battery's running low. I think you've grown up really nice. Like, you've grown up nice too. This is the first time Goku's really ever been awkward with anyone. You're right. It's like, so when this is over, would you like to maybe go out or something? And then Goku's never dated anyone, so he's these feelings now he's not really around Bulma. And actually talking about it really made him feel uncomfortable in a kind of good way, like the butterflies in the stomach. And Bulma's kind of feeling the same way too. Just, it's like, oh, sure. I mean, yeah. So, and Yamcha's like, what about me? He's like, well, sorry, Yamcha, we never really were officially dating. And then Yamcha and Chi-Chi, Yamcha's like, fine. And Chi-Chi kind of looks at Yamcha too. It's like, and then they go to talk and interact. Now, to be fair, I am kind of taking that from one of Mosco's videos too, when I believe it was the Goku married Bulma one, but it made sense. She did comment that Yamcha was attractive. So that's where we're pretty much going to end it off, is at the end of the Dragon Ball saga. It ends with Goku thoroughly beating King Piccolo, Piccolo Jr., but Piccolo going off. Krillin's going to be a little stronger. Obviously, I'm leading it to Bulma marrying Goku and Chi-Chi marrying Yamcha. Bardock and Gine and Jinsen are still around and chilling out, just doing their stuff. And basically, because you'd think with someone of a power level 20 to 25,000 Bardock, he could just wreck everyone on the planet and be like, I'm the strongest one here. And he could, but frankly, he doesn't care about doing that because he knows, while he can be there to protect the planet from stronger foes, his sons, his offspring, they should also be there to do the same thing and carry on that legacy when he's not around anymore. So it's important that they get that action too. But hey, well, we're gonna leave it off there. I went a little bit longer, but I could get through the whole Dragon Ball arc because as they're stronger characters, they can just clear through everything. So ultimately, that's where we're gonna leave it off. So until then, though, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superior Magic, what if, anything I do on the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. So I'll be back tomorrow with a who would win. It's now the week of who would wins coming up, so keep your eyes out for those. What ifs Wednesdays and Sundays. There'll be a Dumbo review, box office always, and actually this weekend is PAX East. So keep your eyes out for some magic videos. Till then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.